Hey guys, Greg with PNW Enduro. I'm about to head into my garage and I'm going to show you my new ride for 2021. Alright, here we have 2021 Sherco 300SE factory. Really excited to try this bike. It's one of the bikes I really want to get my hands on, so should be good. It's a nice sunny day. Alright, here it is. This is the Sherco 2021 300SE factory. This is my new bike I'm going to be riding this year. I am really stoked to try this thing out. It's a big change for me going from KTM to Sherco, but I think it was time to try something different, and really like these bikes when I tried them. Yeah, it's super light feeling in between the trees here. Wants to turn nice and sharp. So obviously a big change. I've been on the orange bikes for my last 3 bikes have been KTMs. So going over to Sherco, it's a big change, but I felt like it was time to try something different. So there's a few reasons why I picked the Sherco. Number one, right here, the suspension on this bike is just the best. The KYB stuff is so good. And just the fit and finish of this Sherco, there's so many details of this bike I really like. I mean, simple things like the plastics here come all the way up to the top, protecting your frame. Your seat comes right off. It's a really nice seat cover. I like how it's got the elastic on the bottom. You can see I've already shaved down the seat a little bit. It's something I do on all my bikes just so I can get my toes on the ground, both feet. You can see in here, see your air filter, the battery's right underneath there. All this wiring is wrapped up really nicely. That looks like they've done pretty good on all this stuff. And then you have this spot here. On a 4-stroke, this is where your fuel pump would be. But with a 2-stroke, you can put some stuff in there. I'm going to work on maybe a toolkit or whatever, but right now I just got my toe strap and a spare spark plug. And I'll work on adding some tools underneath the seat as well. And that's it, seat's back on. Pretty cool design. So the factory edition bikes come stock with FMF gnarly pipe. That is really good. I noticed that mounting is a little different. Here we've got like an old style mounting with this little flex here. I really like that because when your pipe is bent and you take it on and off, there's a little bit of play. Come over to my KTM. And it's a solid mount here and a solid mount. I don't know if you can see in there. But the problem I have with that is once you bend this pipe and you take it off, it is near impossible to get them to line back up there because there's no room for play. This pipe has been repaired 3 times. And I tell you right now, if I take this pipe off now, I would not be able to put it back on without strapping it or some sort of jig. So I like the design on the Sherco pipe better. So another thing I'm going to do right away is put on the Tusk full wrap handguards. I'm also going to change the bars. I'm going to put on the Astra Offroad bars. I'm going to try the Chris Birch Pro Series this time. A little bit different from the Apollo series I was riding on my KTM. So when you pick up your new Sherco, you're going to get a box of goodies, and some of the stuff that comes in it, of course, you get a manual, and you get this toolkit as well. Got a strap on it and everything. I have a pretty good toolkit for on the trails already in my climb pack, so I'm not going to use too much of this, but there is some good stuff in there. Okay, so the Sherco is ready to ride. I'm going to go over with you what I've added on to get this bike ready for hard enduro. So I've added the full wrap handguards. I've already put on the Astra handlebars. Stock grips are actually pretty decent. They, in the past, were really hard and uncomfortable, but the grips this year are fine. I'm going to eventually change this out for something with a lock-on grip though, but for now I run the stock grips. I got a tugger strap on the front. I still need to get one for the rear. I've added these fork guards on the bottom here. Never run these before, but it's relatively inexpensive protection part, so I'll give those a go. And of course I've added the moose in the front. I've got a Nitro Moose regular. And on the back, I've got a soft Nitro Moose with a IRC VE33S tire. It's my favorite gummy tire right now. Sherco comes stock with a pretty good skid plate. This is from AXP Racing, and there's nothing really wrong with this skid plate at all. So I've gone ahead and replaced it with the AXP Extreme skid plate. It's a little bit thicker, and more importantly is it has the built-in linkage guard. For all the rock riding I do, it's really important to protect that linkage. So I'd like to say thank you to AXP Racing for hooking me up with this skid plate. I've used these on my past couple bikes, and I'm really glad to have the same model back on this bike. They've also hooked me up with a better chain guide as well. It's just a little more sturdy, so I haven't actually thrown that on yet, but this is another AXP Racing product. Radiator guards. These are from Bulletproof Designs. Really good guards. I will say, due to the design of the radiator on the Sherco, these are actually quite a pain to install. I actually had to buy a tool, a flexible socket extension to be able to install the bolts on the inside. So it's definitely not as easy as install as it was on a KTM, but they are a good quality piece, Bulletproof Designs. For the rear rotor guard, this time I went with the Tusk Racing guard, simply for the fact that it's about half the price as some of the other ones, and it seems to be a good sturdy product, so I'm going to give this one a try this time. Fan comes stock on the bike is really nice. It's something I would be adding anyways, and it's nice. Adds value to have it on there already, and it's another thing you don't have to install. I still do need to get a spark arrestor. Honestly, a little bit hard to get them for the Shercos right now. Just supply and demand basically, so I'm going to be waiting a little bit to get the spark arrestor. And just the design of it, I'm not sure how strong this thing is going to be, and the foot's a little bit small. Anyone that rides with me on a regular basis knows the issues I have with kickstands, so this one's a bit of a concern for me. To point out, I know you guys are going to be interested, the clutch pull. It's known to be maybe a little bit hard of a clutch pull on Shercos. So this year they went to a 9mm master cylinder. The clutch pull's pretty soft. Comparing it to my KTM, I'd say it's pretty similar. My KTM had some old oil in it. Maybe the Sherco right now is slightly softer, but I don't think clutch pull is an issue. I know there's some mods you can do to make it even softer. Some people are putting KTM springs, old style KTM springs in the clutch, 3 of them, or just removing 2 of the stock Sherco springs. I'm just going to ride the bike as is. I don't think it's going to be an issue. If I think that it's too tight, maybe I'll try some of those mods, but for now, I think it's fine. Yeah, it's different for me. I've never had on any of my bikes is this upper chain guide. Wondering if it's really necessary or I should just take it off. So any of you Sherco owners out there, let me know in the comments, do you keep that part on or you just take it off? So with the KYB forks, one of the complaints is it's really hard to adjust these clickers because you can't get a tool in there. I've come up with a solution here. I've made this little tool. It's just an Allen key with a screwdriver bit on the end. And you just put it on there and you can turn it, and I get 2 clicks and then readjust and click again. So simple little tool, basically free. You can adjust your forks easily. Don't got to worry about taking your handlebars off or anything. Easy solution right here. That's about it. My new ride is ready to hit the trails. I'm just waiting for some snow to melt here in the Pacific Northwest, but I should be out on this thing soon. It's ready to go. I still have to set the sag, but otherwise ready for the trails. There's one performance mod that's going to come on this bike later. I'm going to ride it once or twice first, but in this box is the performance mod that's going to go on this bike, and I will show you that next time. Thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to a new season on a new bike, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.